So we have construct this create attributes, right? Methods, right? Methods are person constructor, person with parameters, get name, set age, set age, and toString. So from the UML diagram, we transfer to Java class. We create attributes, create a method for the Java class. Now, before we want to talk about the drivers here, I would like to add the JavaDoc. Okay, JavaDoc is so important, right? When you design something like this, right? The diagram here or the Java class here. Now let's look at an example of JavaDoc again, right? We know that Java, you pretty much know scanner, JavaDoc. And we need to refer to JavaDoc. This is JavaDoc. Right, it's going to tell you how to use this class, right? It's just like a manual, right? When you want to use this class, you pretty much just go refer to this documents. They have the summary of constructor that we just talked about, right? You see scanner with parameters. We can have different parameters here. Like I show you can have 2-person constructors, right? And we also have all the summary of the methods, right? And we just talk about all the methods that we created too, right? So look at this. How are we going to have the definition like that? Like close at this scanner. When you click, it's going to tell you the, right? What's this close for, right? So same thing, like when for example, if you go back to read, what's that to read, right? If you try to think about that, I'm going to use the close for scanner. How do I use that? That's why JavaDoc is so important to tell you to return the emotion of the user or the audience or the reader, right? After they read, right? Then we understand, oh, what's that to read, right? So same thing happens here. That's why I want to make sure that when you construct a class, you should include your JavaDoc. So create JavaDoc, we just do /2 right? And then Eclipse pretty much just going to insert like the author of this Java code. And normally at this point, this is where you create a license like copyright. This is your, right, your book, your Java code. You can say this is an open source, right, GNU license, or this, you cannot use my person class once you have allowed it, right, or have to write permission from me first, right? That's what you like to include right here. And also, like, this is license, right? I'm not going to worry about license at this point, right? I can say GNU license now. Everybody pretty much has to check what's GNU online, right? And also, I can put the date that I created, then people know when, right? Then to see how old is this code, right? And pretty much describe. The point is we like to have the order, and we also like this one just pick up from when I log in with my account, right? LDAP, we call LDAP, right? Now, we want the purpose of this, pretty much, right? That's what we want, okay? Like, person class, right? This person's class composes of name and age. Okay. So now at the class level, we want to add JavaDoc, and we also want to add each method level, right? Just like I just showed you, right? Each method, you see that? You get all the explanation, right? Even the constructor itself, right? See, you can have parameters. We have construct new scanner, right? That produce value scanned by, right? Same. I'm going to say construct, that's the purpose, right? Construct a new person with name equals to John, right? And age equals to 0. Then the user know that, because the user will never know that the default name is going to be John and 0, because it's being written in the code, right? So you have to specify that in JavaDoc right there. So same, I'm going to do the same with the person level, right? But now I'm going to say new person with actually this one with parameters. I want to show you something. When we do / ***, it's going to add the param for you, right? So this is where you're going to say the name of a person. It's going to explain what is this, the age of a person, right? And this one we're going to say construct, right, a new person with provided, right, with the value, right, the values provided, right, from name and age parameters, right? So get name, same, right? Now you're gonna say return name of a person, right? Get the name of a person, same as get age, right? So I'm going to just copy this part and then just change the name to age, right? And set name. So name is the name of a person, and then you can set a new name, right, to the person, right? The name of a person according to name parameter, right? Which is the same as the age, set age, but just change the set the age, right, the name to age of a person according to age parameter. Age. And lastly is toString, right? So toString is pretty much just returns, right? Like I said, it's going to return it should have return, right? So return a name and age of a person. So we're done with the JavaDoc. So let's see how do we generate this. So we go to run and looking at, actually it should be under project, right? Yeah, generate JavaDoc. And first you have to make sure that this is being configured, right, to this where you download JDK and the bin and javadoc.exe. And then the destination of where the document is going to go, I'm going to put it in the same location here by default. And once you verify, hit finish, and then it's going to generate the JavaDoc. It's just tell you that it's building it here. And once it's done, then you see the doc folder right there. And let's start to open index. Open with web browser. That's it. That's the person class that we just create with the GNU license and date, right? Who creating it, right? The purpose of this, right? And even when you get to the details like constructor summary, right? And method summary, see that? John, name, age 0 if you use person constructor. If you click, it's going to get to the details, right? What's going to be parameters, age of person if you want to use set age, right? Very convenient. That's why this is a good place to do your comments here with the JavaDoc comments. And it's very convenient for you to read it when you come back and read this, right? And even you want to share this code for other people to use, as a public, right, GNU license, people can just use it very easy because you have JavaDoc created, right? So that's the point of JavaDoc. Now, think about how to use this. That's why we come to last part, create driver class to test your Java class. It's just like a person class that we're creating here, just like a scanner, right? Scanner class that you've been using is for so long, or JOption pin, or math class, or string class. Which, think about that, you are the user now, right? If you are the user, I want to create a person object to use in my program, because my program is going to have people to register for their information. And think about that, most likely this program, when you create a new program, it's going to ask user to register over and over again. Why have to reinvent the wheel? That's the point of object-oriented programming, eliminating the point that you have to reinvent the wheel. You can just import this person object in and use in your class right away. So that's why we want to test this, right? For example, let's talk about the package at the same time, because this is a good point to talk about the package. Like normally when you use scanner, you have to import, right? So let's review that. You have to import the package java.util.scanner, right? So, and you have it in default packages, right? Like no package for that, right? Authentication. Same, if I want to create a package for person, I could just put a keyword package, right? Like this is from edu.nvcc, right? .csc, right? Or the CSC can import to this, right? So let's say CSC200, okay? CSC.CSC200. Now, I technically can just move this to that package, so it's create a package for it. Just like create a java.util, right? Where scanner resides, this is where person residing in, right? I want to use this, I'm going to create a new class. Alright, this class doesn't have to be in the same package, can be default. But I just need to, just like we have default, which is no package, right? I can put a name, and it's asked you to put person driver, and this is called driver, right? The class that has a main, we're going to check in the main, we call driver class, right? Okay, you don't need the comments here. We're going to use the person class. How do we use it? Person, we have to instantiating it just the way you do with the scanner, right? Tennis equals to new person. And I'm testing by calling the default constructor. Of course, there's going to be an error because you need to import this in. Just like the way you import, right? Before you use scanner. And now we can have an access to the method, right? So, first, I want to see the default constructor is working John 0, right? So, how do I see it? System.out. Right, we already know how to display using system.out.print, and I'm going to call the instance name tennis, right? Tennis and instance name. When I do that, it's going to by default call toString. ToString return, right? Name John age 0. So it is working. We might want to put spaces here, right? So it's not attaching like that. Alright, so we start to test then. I want to change the name dot set. You see that the method show up name to tennis. I can also do set age to. Okay, let me just test like, okay, I'm going to put 30. And we're going to do the same. Now this time I'm not using toString, but I'm going to test to do get name and get age, right? Tennis.get name.